Welcome, everyone. Before we go into breathing, I invite you to get a little bit more comfortable. Maybe the shoulders drop. Maybe there's a sigh that comes. Maybe there's some stretch that would like to happen. Changing the position of your body, if that's what your body would like. You can recognize, too, that you're doing this because you're giving yourself time for healing and growth in a safe enough environment. A sigh may come with that. A yawn. Ah. Orienting to your current environment, allowing your eyes to move, just going wherever they're drawn. If they land on something interesting to them, noticing maybe it's the shape, colors, patterns, textures, anything interesting to your eyes. Tuning in with your hearing for the first sound you hear other than my voice, and then most distant sound you can hear. And the tactile sense, the sense of touch. If your hands are touching something or would like to, maybe you're noticing the texture, temperature. Maybe you're moving your hands, feeling that difference. Maybe you push in, pressure. And noticing wherever your body makes contact with the chair, the couch, bed that supports you. And through the layers of clothing, just noticing the solidity of that support. Maybe there's a cushioning effect. And just letting gravity drop your body a little bit more into that. Ah. With your feet, you may like to move them a little heel to toe, roll the sides, just really as much contact as you can, and you can push in to enhance that feeling of groundedness. When you're in an environment that's relatively safe, orientation usually brings a little settling, a little calming. And the reminder of being aware of choices in your own agency to play with finding what your system needs right now. Maybe I make a suggestion and it doesn't really resonate. So you just do whatever is right for you in that time. Or maybe you're curious about it, but it's not right timing. So just giving yourself all that permission to explore. And that includes if you'd like to decrease intensity, you could turn the volume down and just hear the rhythm of my voice and not the content. If there's an invitation to close eyes, you can also choose to keep eyes open. You can always move. And just noticing what it's like to relax into that exploration, to really give yourself permission to play with things, notice how things are, find what works best for you. And of course, that's easier when you're explicitly invited to do that. So you play with that here, and little by little, you can take that attitude into more areas in life. Just exploring. I invite you to put your attention on the breath and to take a deep breath in. Oh, and an even longer exhale for the shift to the parasympathetic. A few breaths in your own timing, appreciating the parasympathetic is the time of rest and digest, detoxify and heal. With the out breath, sometimes a sound would like to come, a sigh, oh, maybe a hum. Now let's focus on abdominal breathing. You may like to put your hands on the belly. Eyes may like to close to focus. And then to feel the filling of your belly. And exhaling so deeply, you feel some contraction. A few breaths in your own timing. And putting a little attention on an area 2 to 3 inches below the navel, in the very center, the core of the body. In Chinese medicine, this is called the dantian, and that's the main physical energy reservoir of the body. So with the abdominal breathing, that being a bit of a pump, you can imagine that's pumping up energy into dantian as well, bringing in that life force energy of the breath, and building your reservoir of energy. You can also visualize a line going down from the dantian down to the very center of the earth, where there's just pure, pure earth energy. And as you breathe in, can visualize some of that energy coming up that line, also filling up Dantian with that energy, building your reservoir of energy. And whenever we're bringing something in, you'd like to have a way for what's excess or not needed to exit. So if you like, you can visualize a grounding cord from your tailbone deep into the earth. And that's going deep down beneath the surface. So you can feel just fine about it's okay to release something that doesn't serve me. Can just go down the earth, recycling, transmuting that into pure, pure energy. And of course, the exhalation is an ongoing release. For setting boundaries as part of connection, I invite you to feel into the edges of your energy field. You may like to visualize a cocoon around you, about arm's width out. It's often a good space for the personal energy field. When we're scared, we often contract it more, and then sometimes we feel very expansive. That could be nice, but it also may take our energy budget to maintain it. So just feeling into where you would like this. And if you'd like, you can stretch your arms out to feel and define that. You can twist your body around so your arms move in a circle around you. You can put your arms up above your head and enjoy that stretch and come down. Maybe you like to see colors defining your energy field, a solid color that's nurturing all around you, or some color on the edges to define and protect your energy, or both. You can play with whatever imagery comes to you, including humorous, something fun. We humans use words to let people know our boundaries usually. And also, there may be some nice energy in playing with what animals do to allow a healthy, sympathetic nervous system response that's not too activating, and feel the power in that. Maybe you've had experience with a cat hissing. Would you like to hiss? Sss. And just feeling into what that's like. Maybe it's a of a dog. Or how a horse blows air out forcefully through its nostrils, flaring the nostrils. playing with any of those is don't get any closer, giving that signal. I need a little space. That includes space with processing. We don't always immediately know what our discomfort arises from, but right now we're just giving ourselves permission to have some space. Without all the words that often go with that for humans, just to have some space. Sometimes it's easier to know where you stand with animals. If you give them the space they need, they may then approach for food, for touch, for making friends. And how animals support each other's growth. Maybe an image of a very young, long legged colt nuzzled by its mother and standing up to nurse. Maybe it's a litter of kittens or puppies, nursing, cuddling, falling asleep, waking up curious about the world, exploring, tumbling together in play. A kind of group supporting growth. With a good natural pacing, developing strengths and skills, following their own impulses, hunger and thirst, desire to move, need for rest. Maybe time to explore by oneself and time back with the group. Can be part of our model for creating healing containers of groups. Us humans supporting connection and growth, and finding the rhythms of having space and connection, and what kinds of connection. Noticing your connection to your environment, wherever your body is being supported by what holds you up. Might like to push a little with your feet, noticing what your hands are touching, or might like to reach out and touch. It's the pleasure in connecting. with your environment and what you hear in your space, and opening the eyes, letting the eyes go where they're drawn, that interest, that curiosity, and appreciation of beauty around you, life on this amazing planet, learning and growing. And welcome back.